The class counter that we defined is an argument to the function new. This means that counter is a value. We have separated the class definition and the object creation. So in fact, if you look closely, you can see that the class in this way of doing things is an abstract data type, and it has two operations, class definition and object definition, passing as argument to the function new. In the earlier example, we had a single function, new counter, which did both. It both defined the object behavior and it created the object. In fact, this is not the way it's usually done. Most object-oriented language actually separate the two. Class definition, object definition, they separated because it greatly improves flexibility. So let's take a little closer look at how classes as values are actually represented. In fact, a class is a record, and this record groups the attributes and method definitions. So here, our class counter has a record with one field, which is the attributes, another field, which is the methods. The attributes is a list of atoms, and here it contains a single atom, which is the attribute A1. Methods is going to be a record of methods. One field for method. The field name is going to be the name of the message used to call this method, and the argument to the value of the field is going to be the actual procedure. So the function new will take this record, open it up, take a look at it, create the attributes, and then create the object, which is a procedure that calls the methods with the attributes. So here's the function new, how it's defined, or most of it. It has an argument which is going to be a class value, and an argument which is the initial method, initial message that we invoke the object with to initialize the object. So here S is going to be a record containing the attributes. I don't give the code for this right away. It's just a record containing cells. And the object that I create is a one argument procedure here. M is going to be the message. And you see how it works. It takes class dot methods. So it looks at the record of the methods. It then does dot label M to pick the right method. And this method has to have a particular way of calling. It has to have one argument, which is the message, and a second argument, which is the state, a record of cells, the attributes. What we do then is we initialize the object, we invoke it with the init so that it's initialized before it's returned, and then after initialization we return the object. So the function new works like this. In fact, we can see that if the initial class is defined such that the methods are not using functions or procedures, then the counter here, these will be first order. These method procedures will be first order, and new will then be a second order procedure. Okay, now as an exercise, I suggest that you read and understand section 7.2.2 in the book. This gives the complete definition of new, including the creation of S, and it also shows how to create the class record and exactly what these method definitions look like. So what this does, it shows you exactly how the classes look like as values, and in fact it has defined the semantics of classes and the semantics of new.